you gave a talk at lunchtime. Does diversity matter? So you don't really need to sell it to me. But it's one of those things where you think, do we really still need to justify talking about it?
Well, I mean, it's not just justifying. It's yes that we both were working like several years in IT and technology, and we actually think it could be nice not to be talking again and again about the same topic. It's there, and we have been living with it, but we know a lot of companies and men and women that they would like to have more females, so more like more diversity in their teams. And in the last decades, we haven't been improving that much. So it's a problem that probably we have to see it from another perspective, or maybe it's a problem that is going to live with us, I mean, the whole life. Yeah.
Maybe it's not really justifying it. I don't think we have to justify it to talk about it, but maybe it's more about problem solving. So what can we do to solve the issue, not just to talk about it? I even think that talking about it is, for some people, getting a bit tiring already, which is counterproductive. So what we like to do is we like to talk about what can we do to improve the situation, actually do, and what can we do as an individual, what can we do as companies, and what can we expect from governments to improve. So, yeah.
I think it's really constructive. So I was asked to give a talk about women in tech. And at first I was really grumpy because I thought, you're asking me because I'm a woman. And I complained about it to one of my friends who very wisely said, okay, if you don't think how to women in tech is constructive, what is? And it sounds like you've given a really constructive talk about these are the steps you can take to improve.
Yeah, actually for us it's not like a matter of saying, hey, it's your fault, it's our fault, because we said it on the talk. I mean, there are a lot of times they say, yeah, it's not a problem. It's just that the women, they don't like technique and IT and all this stuff. And say, well, I mean, we cannot say it because we chose it ourselves. But actually, there are a lot that we can still do. I mean, as a woman, or I will still have like some complex, let's say. Sometimes it's like these unconscious biases that we have, and they're still there. And what we have to try is, like, first of all, do not perpetuate them with our like the kids or in our companies or with other our female colleagues, but as a company itself you can do a lot just giving like the equal opportunities. That's the, I mean, we think it's like a key point. You have to give equal opportunity to male and women. And government is another issue.
And I think it's important too to not just talk to men what we think is going wrong, but it's important too to talk to women and tell them that this and that isn't going well, and this and that is going well. So it's not everything, but not everything is bad. And
no, we are not suffering. I mean, it's not like, oh my God, I work in IT, poor me. Not at all. I mean, we like it. But there are things that you have to improve, and not every person is the same. And maybe some of us, we need more like support from your company or for colleagues.
Well, I think it is very important, because with a more inclusive workplace and more diversity, not just gender, but race, sexual orientation, religion, you do get software products that are for everyone, rather than software products that are designed for and by the people that make them, maybe subconsciously. But there was an interesting study that someone mentioned to me that most medical trials and drugs are actually tested on men because they have more men that they're doing the drug testing on than they have women. And I think it's similar in software in a way, that if your organization is dominated by one group of people, if they're men or if they're women, then you do tend to design things subconsciously that are for that group.
Actually, there are also other studies that they say that normally, or the people in a company, they, if you're trying to find some new colleagues or something, you look unconsciously for people like you.
Yeah.
So if you're a man, probably you say, oh no, I know a guy, he's really good, make an interview with him. And actually maybe it's one of the problems. I mean, you don't say it, I mean, it's not like they don't want to have women around. It's more like, okay,
they're not
the
even
way
aware.
it is. Yeah, they're not even aware. And sometimes you also see, hey, we make the question also, hey, when was the last time that you've been in a meeting with 2 women in the room? I think there was like 1 hand up or something like that. And I think it's the first thing that I think when I came into a meeting room. Okay, how many women there are? Nobody? Okay, only me? That's weird. I don't get used to it. I mean, I don't know, to be really in the minority the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah, I have similar experiences. So, and I don't think it's just software engineering. I think the higher up you get, like if you go to project management or higher up the chain, it's getting worse and worse. It's not just on the
Technical
software
part,
engineering, technical engineering. So,
The glass ceiling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think something like anonymous selection then would be constructive? So, for example, you just see a CV without a name.
Well, I mean, it could work, but actually, for me, it's kind of a fake. Somehow, I mean, I like that when I go to an interview, they check me like a person. I mean, it's not like I have to behave like a man, or I have to have the same. I mean, like the same plans, the same. I mean, I'm completely different, maybe, and I don't like to be in a company that doesn't. I mean, like think about it. I mean, they have other like way of thinking. I need other opportunities, maybe, or I need other like some work.
Yeah, I think if you do that, it's kind of a forced diversity.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure if I want to work in a company who's forced to think about the diversity that way. Because, as you said, what if I go to an interview and they see me? If they don't want a woman on the team or something, isn't that a weird interview afterwards?
Yeah, I suppose it's not somewhere you'd really want to work as well.
Yeah.